Hi, it's Amy. I'm being brave right now and doing this without makeup because I figure no one really cares if I'm all dressed up and I need to be more comfortable in my own skin. Where have I been the past few months is a good question. Can't remember if it was late September or early October, I started having bad digestion issues. You can't see where I'm pressing. I could only eat little amounts of food at a time, and then I'd feel very full after, say, 5 bites of something, and I would get nauseous, and I started having cramps in my colon and spasms in my colon. This was just months of trying to figure out what it was. I had a colonoscopy in January, and then I had an MRI later. We had a gastroparesis test, which is your stomach not digesting as fast as it should be, as well as it should be, and I passed it with flying colors. I do not have gastroparesis. And I had the colonoscopy. It said colon looks good, everything was functioning. You're just having a lot of spasms. Do you have IBS? I was like, yes, I have IBS, chronic constipation, thank you, but this is new. So while all this is happening, last April, I started seeing a hepatologist for some adenomas in my liver. They're benign tumors in your liver, so you don't have to worry about it. I have about 12, but 2 of them are over the watch line. Under 5 centimeters, no one really worries about your adenomas, but if they're 5 and over, they start to worry. If you leave them alone, if they keep growing, they could become cancerous, and my maternal grandmother did die from cancerous liver tumors. So I was a little freaked, like, okay, what do we do? And they said, well, what kind of birth control are you on? And it was a high estrogen one. They said, well, this is most likely the cause. So we want you to lose a little weight, which is fine. I was overweight. He said, lose some weight. That'll help shrink them down, also stop the birth control. And, I was okay with that. But the reason I actually went on this particular birth control at first was because I have migraines. I get different types of migraine. One of the type is menstrual related migraines. So every time I have a period, ow, my head. It's a hard to function migraine one. So he's like, well, if I get the birth control that gets rid of my period every 3 months, then what if I don't get the headache? And actually that is what happened. I'd either not get the migraine, or I would get it and it would be so light that I didn't need anything more than Tylenol, which is frankly quite amazing. So that was when I'm 19. I am 36 now. So he said, well, stop that and we'll keep an eye on it. And I live in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I am near Hershey, Pennsylvania, and Hershey Med is a very big and great hospital. They have an oncology tumor board that meets, I don't know if it's once a month or a few months, but my hepatologist took my case in April, presented it, and they said, well, let's just see, how the weight loss and the removal of the medication helps, if it shrinks them. So I got more x-rays in June or July, and yeah, they were shrinking, but like the 9 centimeter one was like 8.7, and the 7 centimeter one was shrunk a little bit, but still over 6. And I had more scans again in October, November, and they're still, they're still a little more comfortable than we would like. So he presented my case again, and this time they're like, yeah, no, she should get them removed. So I'm like, okay, what now? Because honestly, it was fine with surgery. Like, okay, get rid of it. I don't want them to become cancerous. I'm cool. Take them out, whatever you need to do. But I was more worried about my digestion. So it was 2 Fridays after I had my colonoscopy, I see my my oncologist surgeon again, not cancerous. This is just the guy who's going to remove the tumors. and he shows me that the biggest tumor, the 8 centimeter one, which is about the size of a lemon, is pressed up against my stomach. And I said, oh my gosh, could that cause digestion problems? Because I have been having problems since October, eating and getting things to pass through. He said, oh yeah, completely. Do you have trouble with fullness? I was like, oh my gosh, this is the problem. I just, huge weight lifted, because I thought I don't have to get any more testing done to find out what's going on. They're not 100% sure, but they're pretty sure that this is what all is going on. And I was like, hey, no more testing. So, at the time it wasn't, pain, nausea, I haven't been able to do much, but it wasn't that bad. I thought I could wait till after tax season. My mom's an accountant. I'm her only employee. I'm her assistant. So I was like, okay, I can push through, whatever. And then over the weekend, that weekend it got so bad. Like, that night was bad. I had leftover Vicodin from whatever I had dislocated last. And I actually took that because both tumor spots were really painful. I assume a lot of it was because I had an exam where he had to push down to feel my liver. But then the next day it got worse, and then Sunday it was just, what if I'm rupturing? And I was freaking out because they said if it was really bad, excruciating pain, especially to the point that you're vomiting and you're not hungry at all, go to the ER. So I didn't vomit. I got close, but I didn't vomit. And I'm like, okay, let's go to the hospital because I'm freaked. So I get there, and it was, it was actually a really relaxing day. I finished my book. I sat on a bed all day reading, and people, the IV was they had to double stick the IV, so that hurt a bit. And I couldn't actually hold my book with my right hand because of where the IV was. It was a relaxing day, and they said, okay, so basically you're full of poop, and it's your tumors are pressing up against all the stool, and it's going to make you have all this extra pain. So I was like, okay, that's embarrassing. But they said, you may have just spent a bunch of money to find out that you need to poop, but it could have been rupturing, so you did the right thing. And that made me feel much less embarrassed. And I was like, okay, I did good. And yeah, so I do have, I think I said this already, I have IBS, chronic constipation, so I just, more medicine, trying to make sure I keep things going more than the average, because apparently it's going to hurt like heck. So I wanted to document my liver trials while doing this, and you know what, I was just too miserable after that first appointment. So here I am doing it. I see my gastro tomorrow, and hopefully we'll find out, we'll discuss the tumors causing the digestion issues. After that weekend and then this past week full of pain, I was like, I can't wait till April 19th to get the surgery. I talked to my mom. She's like, we'll deal. And I'm like, okay. So I got a call today that they're moving it to March 9th, and I'm excited. I can wait that long. I can do that. So good luck to me. I will give you guys more updates as I get them. Thanks for watching. Bear with me. Bye.